here's my lesson plans as they're set up. We remember we started with a template over in Google Sheets in their template gallery. And from there, we've been morphing it to fit our needs. I started the process in the last video of putting in all of the class periods and the times, and I went through between videos and filled the rest of that out, I hope. I also widened this column over here to put in what period it was and what that actual class is for my own sanity. The first couple weeks of school, I don't remember my schedule. Maybe you do, but mine changes every year. So this will be second nature later on in the semester, but to start with, and for my own planning, I really need that planned out. I need it obvious. I put in all of the times. I color coded as much as I felt like I wanted to color code. And I noticed a couple of things that I hadn't anticipated that I'm going to show you how to fix in case it happens to you. You'll notice I've got 3 lines for each class, 3 rows. And the border lines around those are nice, subtle white that show me the different sections, except down here where they aren't, because I had to go in and add some extra lines. I needed more rows. And so I don't have that. I have some gray lines. I don't even know if you can see that, but they're not the kind of lines that I want. So what I'm going to do is select all of that. I'm going to go back up here to my border tool, and I'm going to be sure that I've made the right selections. I want all of those interior lines, and I want them to be this white, because that's what the rest of them are, and I want them to be the smallest line. I don't need them big and thick like the other ones, like the divider lines that I put in a couple of videos ago, but I wanted to do this. And now I can see all of those lines, which makes me happy. You'll also notice, I don't know how I missed this, but I don't have color all the way out on these two. Now, it's the same stuff, and I want the same color, but I must not have selected that when I did it. So here's me fixing that. It's all back across the way it needs to be. You'll also notice one other thing I want to point out before we go in the next video and make copies of it and label them for the weeks. We have a new class that's only meeting this semester on Thursdays, and that's going to change the time schedule for everything else and kind of throw me off just as an added bonus. So I wanted to go in and be sure and put that in so that I'd know that on Thursday I have this extra chunk of a class, and that's going to throw off the times for 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th hours. So I put those over here for Thursday. So these times over here in the second column, in column B, are for Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. That's the time that that class is going to meet. On Thursdays, over here, so that I have it when I copy this sheet, I'll have it on every single one of them. I know that these classes are going to meet from slightly different times. So that's why there's 2 sets of numbers. I haven't lost my mind. That's just what I needed to do. You've also got whatever the formatting you want to do at this point. If you want to change the font, you can select the block that it's in and change it to make it whatever else it is you want it to be. Now this, when I do that, it makes it not go through like I want it to. So I'm going to select, and I'm going to let it merge those cells so that it's one big cell, and whatever I do to that will still show up. It was Gravitas 1. I'm going to take everything in column A. Notice I just went up here and selected the entire column. I want these, the class period and the actual class to stand out. That may be a little hard to read, so it may not be that one that it ends up being, but you can look through and make yourself happy. You're the one who's going to look at these. These are not for anybody else, really, unless you have to turn in lesson plans, in which case you want to follow whatever plans you've got to go with to turn those in. But now these stand out as well. I could also take this row. Maybe I want these italicized. Maybe I want it all a little bigger. I don't want to take, notice what I did. I selected the whole row. I made everything italics. I don't want to make this cell bigger. I want to make these cells bigger. So I'm just going to select them, and I'm going to up the font size because 10 is really small. And when I do that, they don't all fit. So I'm going to widen that just a little, grab hold of this and get it to where everything fits comfortably, and be sure that you're happy with the selections that you've made. So congratulations. You see how I've set it up. You are welcome to set up whatever it is that you need to do. And I'm going to put in one more line up above here, and I'll explain that in the next one. So thanks for watching. I hope you like